Hey everybody, it's Ed. A little different video today. Today I thought that I would show my favorite 10 albums, CDs, mostly albums though, only actually one or two of CDs that were never released on vinyl, but non-Elvis LPs. So basically what I am about to show you are the 10 albums that get most played either on my turntable or my CD player. Alright, I know my channel focuses mostly on Elvis. However, recently with the passing of Edward Van Halen, it's made me go back and listen to Van Halen some more and some other bands that I also enjoy. So I know sometimes some of you ask what other things I listen to, and some of you have an idea, but I figured this would be a good way to show. So without further ado, let us move forward. And basically, I figured I'd just do it in alphabetical order to the best of my ability. So here we go. We're going to start with ACDC, Let There Be Rock. This is definitely a favorite of mine. I really like this album a lot. One of my favorite ACDC albums. This one happens to be a repress. I'm not exactly sure. At the back it says 2003. I know I didn't get it back in 2003. At least I don't believe I did. But I believe I probably got this around maybe 2007 or so. That's what I want to say. I did have all the originals of the ACDC albums. Unfortunately, I unloaded them. Not that long ago either. Probably within the past 2 years. But Let There Be Rock, definitely one of my favorite LPs to listen to. Next one. Debut LP, Cheap Trick. Oh my God. What a great album. If you do not know this album, go search it out and listen to it. Great, great album. Some of my favorite Cheap Trick stuff is on here. Actually, one song that they didn't even write is one of my favorite Cheap Trick songs that's on this album, which is Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace. Great song. Hot Love, He's a Whore, Monticello. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. Ballad of TV Violence, I'm Not the Only Boy. Hello Kitties, Daddy Should Have Stayed in High School. Taxman, Mr. Thief, Cry Cry, Oh Candy. That's what we get on this wonderful, wonderful album. Definitely one of my favorites. Okay, next comes from Master of lyrical content, Mr. Ray Davies. Phenomenal. This album came out in 1984, 1985. 1985. This was the soundtrack of a movie that Ray wrote, I think, and directed as well, called Return to Waterloo. And I freaking love the soundtrack. Some of these songs can be found on the Word of Mouth LP, which came out around the same time. That's the LP that had Do It Again. And I want to say Living on a Thin Line was on that. I could be wrong. But definitely Do It Again was on Word of Mouth. And also that was on Word of Mouth, that's also on here, is Going Solo, Missing Persons, which I love, Sold Me Out, but the version of Sold Me Out on here is different. There's an extra verse. Lonely Hearts, Not Far Away, and that's it. But this, I can listen to this album all the way through, from start to finish, and I love every freaking song. Very haunting. Great, great stuff. If you are a Kinks Ray Davies fan and you are not familiar with this soundtrack, I highly recommend you search it out and listen to it. Alright, and then going from Ray Davies to the Kinks, classic Kinks, we have the Village Green, well, we are the Village Green Preservation Society. I love this album. It's a freaking masterpiece. Love it. Freaking love it. Can't even say enough about it. Alright. This is the only live album that I'm going to show, and I usually shy away from live albums. However, I love this live album, and it is Rush, Show of Hands, 1988 or 89 release. 1989. Early 1989, actually, because look, I still have the thing on there from Ray Reed Records in Lynbrook. Oh, anybody remember that? Maybe, maybe not. All right, but this is January 1989. So, and I remember buying this on the day it was released. I freaking love this album. So many good Rush songs on here. Some of the later stuff, some of the earlier stuff as well, but a good mix of what was out at the time. This was the Power, not the Power Windows tour. This was Hold Your Fire tour. And you have on Big Money, Subdivisions, Marathon, phenomenal versions. Turn the Page, Manhattan Project, Mission, again, phenomenal versions. Distant Early Warning, Mystic Rhythms, Witch Hunt, Rhythm Method, phenomenal. Force 10, Time Stand Still, Red Sector A, Closer to the Heart. So this period of Rush is the time when I was going to see them live and when I was really getting into their stuff. So this album really sticks out for me, and I love it. Great stuff. All right, the next album would be Steve Vai Flexible. This is a really unique... I don't know how to explain this album, but I love it. I really love this album a lot. Great stuff. There were different versions that were released. I had about 3 or 4 different versions, but I got rid of them all, and I just kept this one. I believe this is the original, but I'm not even sure, to be perfectly honest with you. But there's different covers, pretty much variations of this artwork, or, you know, a different cover altogether. Labels are different colors as well. I believe there was blue, there was yellow. I think I had white also, and this green. But this is the one I kept. But again, I really can't even describe this album. There's, you know, some catchy poppy kind of stuff on here, but there's also some really experimental. It's, again, just something that if you really like guitar and melodic and just out there stuff, search it out, listen to it, and see what you think. All right, next one, going to Van Halen. For Van Halen, I picked this, which is Women and Children First. And no, I did not pick it because of the poster that it came with. All right, let's just get that clear. I picked it because of the awesome songs that are on here. Love this album a lot. Lost Control, Take Your Whiskey Home, Could This Be Magic, In a Simple Rhyme, Everybody Wants Some, Romeo Delight, and The Cradle Will Rock. I mean, you know, One Foot Out the Door. Oh wait, no, One Foot Out the Door. I'm sorry, that's Fair Warning. But phenomenal album. Rockin', heavy, great stuff. Typical Halen. All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show. I got to show this one, but they don't have a vinyl of this. So this album is absolutely amazing. This is probably my favorite album right now, and I throw this in continuously in my CD player, and I crank the hell out of it. And this is the Ray Davies Choral Collection. So it's Ray Davies featuring the Crouch End Festival Chorus. This was released back in 2009. As far as I know, there was not a vinyl release of this, but check out the songs. Basically, so it's Kinks / Ray Davies songs backed with a choir, and it sounds really good. I would say 99% of this is awesome, all right? You have Days, which, oh my God, blows me away. Waterloo Sunset, phenomenal. You Really Got Me, but it works. Victoria, great. See My Friends, great. Celluloid Heroes, great. Shangri-La, oh my God. Shangri-La is like pure Shangri-La. Working Man's Cafe, which was Ray's second solo album, if you don't count Return to Waterloo. Because even though Return to Waterloo was a soundtrack, it was not considered a solo album for Ray, even though it basically was. The first solo album was Other People's Lives, then Working Man's Cafe. So Working Man's Cafe is on here. Then you have the Village Green medley, which is phenomenal. You get... oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? You get Village Green, you get We Are the Village Green Preservation Society, Johnny Thunder, I think Big Sky is in there, and what, Do You Remember Walter, and maybe one or two others that I'm forgetting, but it doesn't list them here. And then the last one is All Day and All the Night. So that is what we have for that. I think my wife was about to come down and realized I was making a video. All right, but that's what the CD looks like. All right, so that should be 9. No, that was 8. All right, number 9, we're going to go with Frank Zappa, Joe's Garage. I freaking love this album. I actually got this from my older brother, and it was passed down to me. It's been in my collection forever. Great stuff. And what do you got on here? Central Scrutinizer, which is just search. If you are not familiar with Zappa, go and listen to Zappa and search the Central Scrutinizer and just listen to that. All right, and then you have Joe's Garage, Catholic Girls, Crew Slut, Wet T-Shirt Night, Total Line. I don't know. I love this album. It's great. All right, and then the very last thing that I have to show you actually is a soundtrack. And this is something that I picked up on the day it came out back in 1980. I was 11 years old. Here you go. All right. Do you need anything, hon?
I'm leaving.
All right, love you. All right, well, yeah. All right, here we have The Empire Strikes Back. And this, like I said, it's an original copy. Now, the thing that kind of ticks me off about this one is I didn't realize this till I brought it home because I was so excited when I got it. I remember going to TSS, which is called Times Square stores. I was in the Oceanside area in Long Island, and going to look for it. I remember looking up and down the row and not finding it, and then all of a sudden I found it, and the thing was because it was backwards. So this is the way I found it, and I remember I just grabbed it and immediately turned it around, and I was like, this is what I want, this is what I want. And I was lucky, and they bought it for me. I brought it home, and I opened it up, and when I opened it up, I realized that there was damage here, and it was already like that, and I didn't see it until after I had opened it up and brought it home. So that kind of bummed me out, but oh well. Needless to say, probably within the last year, I found a really nice looking copy, and I did upgrade, and it was cheap, so I was happy to do that. And actually, I have the cover framed and hanging on the wall out of view of the camera. But I freaking love this soundtrack, and even really more than this one that I listen to, this is the one that I really usually pop in. And the reason is they released this version in 1997 when they did the Star Wars Special Edition re-releases for the 20-year anniversary of Star Wars. Back in 1997, they released each of the soundtracks, but the soundtracks were basically the most complete soundtracks. In other words, pretty much every piece of music that was in each movie was released on the CDs. So they were each a 2 CD set, and like I said, it pretty much goes in order, and pretty much everything that you heard in the in the movie, you hear on these CDs. So I think we're going to end it there. And basically, again, just to do a quick recap of my 10 favorite non-Elvis LPs that I listen to. All right, we have ACDC. All right, we have Cheap Trick. Oh, wait, let's see if we can get the glare. All right, we have Ray Davies, Return to Waterloo. We have The Kinks, We Are the Village Green Preservation Society. We have Rush, A Show of Hands. We have Steve Vai's, Flexible. We have Van Halen, Women and Children First. We have Zappa, Joe's Garage. And then we have The Empire Strikes Back collection, or soundtrack, I should say. And then last but not least, the most phenomenal album that I am showing right now, again, in my opinion, it's the Ray Davies Choral Collection. If you are a Kinks fan, Ray Davies fan, and you have not heard this, search it out. Just go listen to it and make a decision on your own if this is something that you would want. I would think if you're a Ray Davies or a Kinks fan, this is something you would want. Right? I could be wrong. You let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. All right? All right, everybody, I appreciate you watching. Again, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my 10 favorite non-Elvis LPs. And we will do this again soon. I appreciate you watching. Good to yourselves. Good to each other. Take care.